Pick a card. How are you proving them wrong? Here are your options, and I'll see you at your reading.
Okay.
Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Untitled Chapter, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 1, how are you proving them wrong? Well, for starters, I definitely feel like you are way more direct and fierce. I feel like you're an incredible protector, protectress, whatever you want to call it. I definitely feel like your crown chakra is popping. You are enlightened. I feel like you see things for just the way they are. There's no pretense there. And I feel like you are willing to face things in a direct manner. So pile number 1, if this sounds like you, or if this sounds intriguing, go ahead and join me for the shuffle and your reading in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to my channel. My name is Griselle with Untitled Chapter, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 1, how are you proving them wrong? Let's find out. You have flight. Ooh. With opportunity, prosperity, and a new venture. And a lot of flowers. Okay. And you have portal. Original, idealism, and progression. So the 28 reduces to a 10, which goes to a 1, right? I definitely feel like people thought that they had you pegged down, they had you stuck, they had you in your brain, like you ain't going nowhere. Pile number 1, oh, I got them. Don't worry about them. I feel like you, pile number 1, were highly underestimated once upon a time, but that narrative is no more. I also feel like how you're proving them wrong is that you have deep roots. I feel like you had to dig really deep in order to dig out of that situation, whether it was a mindset or if you felt trapped in doing something or being a part of something that just wasn't simply for you. And this can include like carrying a narrative of what the family always does. Well, that's what they always do. Well, that's what I got to do. Or even if you signed a contract and feeling like, okay, I'm committed to this thing and now I can't back out because people are relying on me and things like that. And what you realize, pile number 1, is that these people, I'm hearing the word entrapment. I keep feeling entrapment, okay? So I felt like they didn't really want you to glow up. They didn't want you to show up for self. They really did not want you to see what the best version of you is or was back then, right? And so I feel like you're proving people wrong because they thought that they had you. They're like, pile number 1, oh yeah, I got them. They're don't even bother. Don't even worry. They're harmless. I got them wrapped around my finger, whatever the thing is, right? And you proved them wrong. I feel like you took a risk, a chance on you. And I feel like this could have weighed on you heavily, right? But I feel like you went in pursuit of love, in pursuit of happiness, in pursuit of joy. And I don't necessarily mean like the eros love, the romantical love, right? The kind that we see in movies and whatnot. It could be. I really feel more like even if you did go after romance or something that was like forbidden or not approved of by whoever this is, it feels like a force, an energy, or an expectation projected onto you that you decided I'm not going to live up to it. I definitely feel like you instead chose happiness and you chose love and you chose joy and you chose your own joy and happiness above and beyond all because simply you looked around and you realized that everybody else was indulging in their own happiness while really purely content to make you miserable. Pile number 1. How are you proving them wrong? That you would take flight, that you did indeed take flight, that you entered a new portal, that you found a new beginning, that you maybe perhaps even established new routes, that you opened up that scary, wary, it's not even a word, little door into the unknown because you were not supported. You definitely weren't guided. It's giving that horror movie, and I don't remember exactly what it is, where the people lived underground forever and ever, and they're like, ooh, scary things up above, and you can't go there, but they had to send like one person out there for whatever. And it turned out, of course, it was like one big fat lie. It's giving that kind of a thing, right? And this could have been ingrained in you. You could have been born. I feel like this is like a birth canal. Okay, sorry about that, but here we are talking about things. Hey guys, hang in there with me because guess what? You were birthed too. So I feel like you guys could have been birthed into this level of expectation and that you were not expected to be original, that you had to really toe the line, that you had to do whatever was expected. that you had to meet the needs of maybe many at the sacrifice of your own. It's giving like martyr syndrome, right? It's giving, you are the martyr, you are the chosen one. You must sacrifice self for everyone else. And yet everyone else is like, hey, let's eat, let's drink, be merry. Because guess what? Pile number one is okay to sacrifice all their things, their money, their time, their mental health, their energy, their spirit, their dreams, in order for us to have this good old time. But I definitely feel like that narrative is no more. Pile number one. How are you proving them wrong? Let's see what's going on here. 10 of air. I'm all yelling. Sorry about 10 of air. Yeah, that... Pardon, yeah, it's having a hard time speaking here. Throat chakra issues. Maybe you guys are too. So 10 of air is like harsh endings. This is about mean words. This is about betrayals. This is about packing up and going. This is about allowing other people to take care of their own selves, right? And I definitely feel like they had such faith in like what they were doing, how they bamboozled you, how them was so much smarter than you, and let them be. And we say, good for you, good for them. But I definitely feel like that is not the case. With a 10 and the 10 being present right here, I definitely feel like it could have been an unexpected ending. And I feel like also this could have been like the segue, the doorway into like everything is light. Like we have these dark cards here. This is popping out light, white light nonetheless. And I feel like you allowed all the light to come into the dark places. And this light was astringent. And this light is healing. And this light potentially may have exposed a lot of wounds that people didn't even know were there, including their own. But I feel like you went and you thought, you know what? I guess I must heal myself in pursuit of opportunity, prosperity, and the new venture. I feel like you're somebody who packed up like the bare minimum, metaphorically, physically, it could have been. And you kept it pushing with a hope and a faith and a vision, maybe perhaps that you didn't even understand. And that's something that they thought. I mean, I feel like these people thought so little of you. And keep in mind, you know, these are just projections. And of course, take whatever resonates with you and allow the rest just to fall. It is not for you then. But how are you proving them wrong is that you will put an ending to things, that you will metaphorically put people in a hospital, that you will, you know, fight fire with fire. I feel like they came at you with shade. They came at you with darkness. They came at you with maybe even a pretense that they needed you for health reasons and things like that. I feel like there was like mastermind and maneuvering and placating and controlling. And I feel like you said, well, okay, what's good for the goose? Bye. And that was you. And so how you are proving them wrong is that you will take flight from situations that are not good, that you will put an ending to things, that you will put self first in order to have opportunities and prosperity in a new venture, just the same way they have their entire lives. So then we have originality, idealism, and progression. The new venture and the progression, it's like you were stuck. I feel like they wanted to keep you stuck. This is a people or a person that maybe even could have given birth to you. It could have been a parent, a mother, a father. It doesn't make a difference. I feel like it's just an energy overall that was like deeply rooted, that tried to really cover what potential you did have. Like they were only willing to give you like kudos or accolades if it was with their narrative, if they thought they can control it. And yet they would try to persuade you if it was counterproductive to their cause, right? And so I said, yeah, bet. And you kept it pushing. So good for you. Pile number one, round of applause for overcoming. I also feel like you are seen right now as somebody who is a shrewd thinker, who is a strategist, who is well aware that sometimes things take a long time in planning and unfolding. And I feel like also you're a person that you allowed people to think whatever they wanted to think, that it behooved you for them to believe that maybe you were not as bright. Maybe they thought that you were a weakling or whatever. And all of that worked in your favor. It's almost like a double agent is what I'm feeling. And so good for you. And as we saw, some of these cards just flipped up in the upright. So we're going to take them as is. But I'm curious. Well, let's see. Okay. Pile number one, how are you proving them wrong? Involvement with the law with the gavel. So maybe perhaps you did get the law involved. Maybe this is a situation where the law should have been involved from the get-go. I'm getting a lot of like maybe when you were a child that you were under gross neglect. That could be a thing. Involvement with the law could also mean that perhaps you were held against your will, mentally, physically, spiritually, or you had many things done. I don't want to get like in a deep, dark thing. You know your history. I don't know your life, right? But I'm just going to say that I feel like whatever transpired back then and how you're proving people wrong is that you managed to escape that and that you are bringing light to all the things. And you're like, well, I guess, if people wind up needing healing after that, well, then they're going to need healing after that, because nobody cared when you were in a bad way. Nobody cared when you were laid up and the life force was being drained out of you, right? It was only a pretense. It was just a dream is what I heard. So let's see what else we have right here. How are you proving them wrong? Pile number 1, if you're indeed liking these kind of readings, please do take a moment to like, share, comment, subscribe. I would really be so grateful if you did. Also, don't forget to click your little notification bell where I drop further readings for you. Hello. Yes. So we have Rainbow. The most difficult part of the situation is over. And I feel like this is Spirit's encouragement, just letting you know that, you know what, law and order is being restored. Maybe you work for the law. Maybe you are the long arm of the law. I don't know your life, right? But whatever this is, it could be even like spiritual law. It's like the worst is over. And I feel like the rainbow, you are pursuing your highest form of happiness. I feel like you're pursuing your dreams. You're not allowing any longer for things to be shrouded in mystery and darkness and entanglements that just don't behoove you. So let's see what else we have here. Peacock, be aware of great pride. So pile number 1, I definitely feel like you're somebody who is aware of great pride, but I also feel like you have a lot of eyes on you, and they're like, well, are you not prideful because you're like involved with the law and you escaped something and you're talking about it? I definitely feel like there's a difference between like exposing people or situations or sharing your situation than being prideful, right? And so I feel like this is once again about balance, about order, and this is about perception for sure, because anything can be manipulated and thought to be prideful. But as I hear, pride comes before a fall, right? And it's really interesting to me because I'm getting also pile number 1 that you have, and not in a bad way, but I feel like a lot of us, I'll speak from my perspective, okay? And again, take whatever you will. But I feel like a lot of us have experienced like being in the down and out, or we've experienced like the worst of the worst of the worst. We've seen the worst of humanity. And I mean, really, I don't want to say like how much worse can it get, because it could always get worse, right? But I feel like you've been able to recapture and manage to recapture like a dream. You're a little bit of like a fairy currently. I don't know why that keeps coming up in these readings. That's funny. And if you hear my stomach, no, you didn't, by the way. So how are you proving them wrong? Is that, you have this ability to retain humility and just to kind of present things as they are and allow people to think whatever they want. Like if they think that you are prideful, then that's fine. And if they think that you're humble, that's also fine. What really matters is like you at this point being authentic and restoring law and order into your own life. And good for you. So pile number 1, how are you proving them wrong? That was really hard for me to say. Sovereignty of air. Okay, so you look at this throne. I mean, that's not badass. I don't know what is. So, and that looks like a door as well. So I feel like you hold a lot of information, and this is part of what's making people nervous is like once upon a time when they thought, oh, well, I got pile number 1. Don't worry about it. You don't have to, that ain't no ish. And I got them mastered. I got them, in a corner. I got them so beat down that they can't really rise up and think of anything on their own. They look for me for leadership, or I have it so locked down that they would never came really soon, didn't it? Pile number 1, you're proving them wrong because you are incredibly intelligent. And now you even hold the keys to the door. And I feel like with the sovereignty of air also, this is a nod to like how intelligent you are, but you have reached regal status. And look at this person. They're not like, ooh, look at me, I'm regal. Isn't this a little bit exposing a lie within itself? I mean, I feel like what these people would say is, oh, you're so prideful. Look at you talking about this or doing this or, and trying to throw shade when in reality they fail to look at the damage that they're willing to do to you, right? And it does take two. So it's whatever. But the point I'm making right here is that I feel like these people would say like, oh, look, you know, I got my eye on you and you have a lot of pride and things like that. But if you look at this person, they're not full of pride. They're just kind of chilling. They're relaxing. Maybe even they need like a new coat. Or maybe this was like handmade and they wear it with pride. Oh my gosh, I saw the coolest coat yesterday. Maybe I should drive back and get it. But anyways, I digress. So I feel like, and it was handmade, by the way. What? Yes, it was the coolest. But anyways, I feel like the way that you're proving people wrong is that you have a lot of humility. That it definitely comes across that way as well, that people can really tell, you know, and excess pride is just really obvious, right? I mean, especially when you have disdain for other people, especially when you're like, hey, listen to me, I'm the one with all the answers. And I feel like that's how your past would want to come back. Okay. I feel like, in other words, I feel like that's the voice that they would use. They're like, no, I'm the one that has control. I'm the matriarch. I'm the patriarch of the family. I'm the one that says, I am the husband, the ruler of this family. I'm the leader. You, pile number one, are the follower. And I mean, if that doesn't speak of arrogance and of entitlement and of manipulation and of deep control and of, you know, maybe perhaps you should really focus on your own life type of thing, then I don't know what else does. So how are you proving them wrong? You managed to rise to the top. You managed to do things with a bare minimum. I mean, this person doesn't have a lot. I mean, look at, they have a lot of blues. Like you could even get into nostalgia, into your own feelings and things like that. Even their hands are like, it seems covered a little bit and they seem a little bit gray. I mean, I don't know. I'm just going to say that maybe perhaps this person is a warrior and maybe you fought your whole life for every little bit that you had to get. And maybe you don't have much, but I feel like you have your ability to communicate, your ability to know what is right from wrong, your ability to really implement, I feel like, justice in your own way, whatever that means to you, right? And you've done it all without support, without applause, without approval, without holding and repressing and suppressing other people. You don't need that. And so I feel like that's a stark contrast from where you came from, okay? And that's how you're proving people wrong. I feel like this is really powerful. If this isn't resonating, then I'm sorry, but this just isn't for you. So how are you proving them wrong? What? Look, darlings, look. You still have, I feel like these look like eyeballs. If you soften your eyeballs, you can see the eyeballs, right? But I feel like even with these trumpets and the Four of Fire, this is about setting balance, setting home, hearth. This is about progression. This is about being happy with what you have. This is about, maybe I have a home and I don't have like the best furniture, but you're like, you know what? I can just go get something at a secondhand store and I can sand it down and repaint it if I want, or leave it as is. And, you know, and time will tell, and maybe something will come up and I'll, you know, be able to invest in a new set of furniture if that's something that I want. Or maybe perhaps I want to build something with my own hands and I really don't need a lot and I'm a minimalist, or whatever the case is. But you, pile number one, it's obvious that you are not looking for like riches, and you're not looking for, it's not that we don't appreciate money. It's not that we don't appreciate having, you know, beautiful things or valuable things, but it's a fact that we're content to have what we have, right? That we don't have to be suppressing and repressing and punishing other people in order to climb on their shoulders in order to attain it. That you're happy. That you've attained happiness, yeah. That you've established, once again, that order, that balance in life within yourself. And therefore, everybody else had to fall in line however they felt. So that is not for you to decide. That is not even for you to look at, because you can only focus on what you can control, right? And that is what I have. So let me know if this hits. Much love to you. Until next time, namaste.
Oh,
hi, friends. My name is Chriselle with Tough Doll Tarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 2, how are you proving them wrong? Well, I definitely feel like you had a rise from the bottom. I don't know, it's giving, I started from the bottom, now we're here. Something like that. But I definitely feel like you are an incredible earth angel. I feel like you see things from high above. You have a higher perspective than you ever had before, and you're not afraid to use it. Now, with that being said, I feel like the pan is strong, okay? So I'm getting a little bit of street cred going on here. There's been a lot to dim your light, but you're not having any of that. Hi friends, my name is Crystal with Untitled Tarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 2, how are you proving them wrong? Well, first of all, you have to acknowledge that during the shuffle, if you watched it at all, these cards were jumping everywhere. And in the end, I had so many of these. I feel like there's a lot of gossip around you, first of all. There are so many of these that came out here that I wasn't even able to pick them up. And I thought, okay, well, I guess they want to talk. We're going to allow them to talk. So don't tell any other pile, please. Pile number 1, how are you proving them wrong? You have burrow, exhaustion, questioning motivations, and realignment. Now, what stands out to me definitely is realignment. I feel like you could be in a period or leaving a period of hibernation, hermitude, right? I definitely feel like you're getting down to the roots of things. I feel also that you could be spending more time with Mother Nature, getting more in touch with your soul. I'll look at the sole of her feet right here. So perhaps they didn't expect for you to withdraw your energy. Pile number 2, perhaps I didn't expect you to be able to come into alignment once again by withdrawing all of your energy, by really tuning into Mother Nature, Gaia, whatever it is that you believe in, Spirit, all the things, and really start healing yourself from the inside out. And that has brought you into an alignment, a realignment that was unexpected or is unexpected by others who apparently are gossiping currently, okay? So how are you proving them wrong? You have Wayfarer. I'm like, the Wayfarer? I shop there. Contemplation, search for truth and inner guidance. Yeah, what do we talk about? It's like a period of hermitude, being a hermit, right? Going within. But I feel like that period of time is ending or has ended. So you could be popping out. You could be seen in public right now. You could be, you know, maybe even coming out of this period of hermitude that you were ensconced in. I feel like, yeah, it's almost like a little baby taking care of yourself, a little baby taking care of your own heart, not calling you a baby, but calling, yeah, pampering yourself. Why the hell not? Pile number 2. What is that in the bushes? That is somebody with a big rack. Who are you? We have deer and elk and things. Yeah. Anyways, I digress. I just see the horns, so that's kind of cool, but I can't see the beast. Interesting. So perhaps pile number 2, how you are surprising people, how you're proving them wrong, is that you do have horns. Maybe like after all this time, maybe because like I've described myself as a little crybaby, especially, you know, when I've been emotional, processing things, I should say. So really that's what it's been. And maybe perhaps other people have picked on that. Maybe you're like hypersensitive, really sensitive, or an empath, and you download information by really feeling other people's feelings, sometimes even feeling them before they even know what they're feeling, okay? I hope that makes sense. But you're in this period of time where you are taking care of yourself. You're taking care of your young, whatever that means to you. And if you don't have any children, and perhaps you are young, then you are simply taking care of your body, your rest, your maybe even doing a digital detox can mean something for you. Some of you guys are trying to stop smoking and things like that. I wish I could see that beast up close. But anyways, its horns are riveting, if nothing else. I can't see anything else. So how are you proving them wrong? Yeah, that you're coming out, you're popping up, that you're being seen. Well, that makes all the sense, Crystal, because I see the horns. I wish you guys can see it, but I can't see him. Yeah. So people could see parts of you, fragments of you, but they can't see the whole you. And maybe there's sightings from time to time that's like quite mysterious. And I feel like people fight to catch a sighting of you. But you're proving them wrong because it's not like you're withdrawn out of shyness necessarily, or you're not withdrawn out of anything other than to take care of you. That's your priority, and whatever people think, well, then you just let it be, right? Which, what? Which, please. So yeah, this is your like positive and negative polarity. I feel like you're definitely taking care of self. You're integrating parts of you that needed integration. I feel like this could have maybe even offended a lot of people or left people puzzled. Like, well, how come they don't come out no more? How come they're not at the bar no more? How come they're not out, with us causing mayhem or whatever? And I feel like you have decided that maybe perhaps you want something better for yourself. There is a time to run with a crowd. Is there? I don't know. And there's a time not to. There's a time to graze in the forest and only allow your horns to be seen, apparently. But yeah, so there's something about maybe that you're coming out, right, as being a witch, as being somebody who believes in magic, as being somebody who believes in self-care and nature, the powerful healing proprieties of nature being brought into mind at this point in time. So maybe perhaps you could make tinctures, you could make ointments and things that, come from Mother Earth or plants or a mixture of both, whatever. And that is being brought to the forefront. And people are really surprised by this. Maybe you're into like crystals and healing or, I just feel like you're more yourself, but people don't really see like the full you just yet. Interesting. Moving on. So pile number 2, if you're indeed liking these kind of readings, please do take a moment to like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, don't forget to click your little notification bell where you get notified that I drop further readings. How are you proving them wrong? 5 of Earth. Yeah. So 5 of Earth is a 5 of Pentacles, right? And this is where, we leave people out or we feel left out, either way. So there could be a period of like with you withdrawing that people have felt left out, I feel like, from your energy, or they don't know what's going on. They're in the dark. It's like this person is dressed. There's a little dinghy boat. I think that's what that's called, but I'm not really sure. A little boat anyways. And it seems to hold like just enough space for maybe one other people, if you're lucky. One other people. Wow. One other person. Hello. Yes. So 5 of Earth is, yeah, you leaving people behind, leaving them in the dark, keeping them guessing. At least that's what they think, right? But the reality is that you're just all about self-care. You're like, I didn't even think how this would have an effect on anybody else. It's like, look, each man for his own. I feel like at this point in your life, you have withdrawn to really nourish and feed yourself from within. And other people might be taken a personal way. I feel like that's what all the gossip is. Yeah. How are you proving people wrong? That you gambled, invested in yourself, and now, as fate would have it, you, my friend, are glowing up, that you are showing up, and also that you could be showing out and maybe even showing other people up, right? I keep wondering if I'm going to get a chance to glimpse that beast outside. I don't know. It'd be kind of cool to see. But anyways, with the wheel, I definitely see the carousel right here going around in circles. But it's like the wheel of fate. It's almost like whatever your hands touch turns to gold, that you've bought tickets to the show. Other people are buying tickets to your show, by the way, which is really interesting. And you bought tickets to like the show of life. You're showing up for yourself. But when you're ready, you're taking a gamble on self. When you're ready, when you feel rested, when you feel like your mental agility is there, you're not overgiving any longer. You're not being overtaxed, well, by the state. It's a whole different topic. But I definitely feel like, yeah, with the 5, 2 5s right here, you could be making a lot of personal changes right now. I just saw the number 808 on camera right now. That could mean something to you as well. But with these roses, I feel like you have a really good reputation. People are really looking at you in a really great way. And it's like, well, we look at you, pile number 2, it's like you have a great reputation. We want to see more of you. How come we can't see more of you? And maybe perhaps you are just simply stating, it's like, I'll come out when I'm ready, right? And I feel like it's almost like people are saying, come out, wherever you are. It's almost a little bit of like hide and seek. It's like people are trying to force you into their narratives, trying to force you to conform, try to force you to be like us, right? Like everybody else. And you're simply not. You're listening to your soul. You are communing with spirit. Maybe you're dancing around naked as a jaybird on your own property. I don't know, communing with the moon, howling at the moon, communing with spirit, dancing in the rain, doing all the quote witchy stuff that would be deemed unconventional, but that feeds and nourishes your soul, that gets you nourished and revamped and excited. And that puts you in a place where you feel like, you know what, I'm feeling kind of lucky. I'm feeling like, let's do this today, that sort of thing. And so, also, I don't know, I'm feeling like Gemini energy right here. You could have a lot of duality to you, and maybe you were tugged at really honoring one part of you versus the other. And now you're bringing both points into like a marriage. Yeah, very, very like this has the same image except for the flowers, right? To let you know which is right or in the upright. And so your shadow side could be integrating. And I feel like, you're somebody who is really, I heard exclusive, but not only are you exclusive, I feel like also you're realizing that it's not a bad thing to really withdraw your energy and allow people to guess. It doesn't make, who has the energy to explain and to be nice to everybody? I feel like you are kind, but you're not necessarily nice. I feel like you're kind, but you're not nice. You're going to withdraw your energy and do what you got to do. And people are going to think what they think. And you know that the quote, ride or die, I kind of hate that term, but here we are using it, are going to be there for you in the long run, that they know, that you got to take care of business, or they trust you, or whatever the deal is, or they want the best for you. For the rest of the people, then I feel like they will be shown for whom they are. And you're not in the least bothered by that. So good for you. How are you proving people wrong? Pile number 2, Seahorse, family matters. So perhaps you're feeling like the seahorse is, I forget what the word is, but they can have babies, right? The male and female, they can carry the babies. And so this can have to do with a lot of duality, taking care of self, of not needing a lot. And you might not need a lot of input from family, or you might have family matters that are tender, that have maybe exhausted you, that have questioned your whole life, that question your motivation, and you just need to come into alignment. And therefore you decided to be like the seahorse. They're fierce little fighters, by the way. I heard fierce little fuckers. So that's for somebody. Don't be offended. Keeping it pushing. How are you proving them wrong? Success assured with good plans and hard work. So maybe perhaps you're tending to nest egg, right? We talked about almost like the birthing process right here, carrying a baby here, and a baby can be anything. It could be nurturing your inner child, nurturing your current physical self, or maybe both. I heard the word ambos. So you could be bilingual, trilingual, or others, right? But definitely this talks about you having a lot of plans and really taking care of things, nurturing things. So you're focused on nurturing self and nurturing that which is what you want to give birth to into this world, into this realm. For a few of you, you might, yes, be pregnant. That's for maybe 1 or 2. Moving on. How are you proving them wrong? Pile number 2, the crown. Honor and respect will come to you. So I definitely feel like you're proven them wrong, because it almost seems like they expected you to toe the line, to be a part of something, like to need other people, other things in order to have honor and respect. It's almost like, I don't know, all of a sudden I got this like Prince Harry and Prince Charles come to mind, right? Where one of them, it is said, that has abandoned the crown, right? The one that married Meghan Markle. And I think that's Harry. And is it Harry and William? Oh my gosh, I get them all mixed up. Anyways, Charles is the dad, but we're not going to talk about that. Anyways, with the 2 kids, they're not kids anymore. They're grown men. That, one of them stayed with the crown. The other one decided, to embark on a whole different life with his wife and his family. So that was like very controversial. And I feel like this could be you as well. It's almost like, wow, you would leave, why would you leave like everything that's been established and royalty, and we had this reputation and whatever, and you could have had it so much easier. But I just, it's like you decided that you were going to leave and do your own thing, and in pursuit of what? Birthing what you felt like was going to be true, acting on wisdom that is higher than other people, perhaps. Maybe the number 1111 can mean something to you, or even 2511 can mean something. With the Wheel of Fortune, right, you cut that in half. I'm looking at the carousel, and then you have the 5. So maybe 3 massive changes that have changed for you. And that's how you're proving people wrong, is that you're willing to change. You're willing to be self-sufficient. You're willing to, you know what, you don't want to give anything, don't give anything. You know what, I need nothing from you anyways. Maybe this is a situation where it involves child support. And you're like, you know what? I haven't seen a dime anyway. So why am I going to cry about it now? I'm going to continue keeping it pushing. I'm going to do me. And if that comes through, then great, So whatever this is, I definitely feel like people are really surprised that you are proving them wrong. It's almost like people thought, well, if I don't give you child support, then you're going to have to, or you're going to depend on me, or you're not going to grow, or you're going to regret leaving me, or you're going to regret leaving the crown. You don't have that prestige anymore, that whatever. And it is not so. It's simply just you've proven that that's not even true. And last card for you, Forest, yay. With muddled, unclear thinking. Maybe perhaps you withdrew to the forest, right? Number 1515 on camera right now. That is a confirmation, additional confirmation for someone. But I'm definitely going to say that maybe perhaps, again, you went to Mother Nature to be healed. Maybe you went on some kind of ayahuasca trip or something, I don't know, your life, right? In order to really grow, in order to heal, to clear your thinking, in order to get grounded. Maybe you like to go hiking. Maybe you like to go to national forests and things like that. And maybe perhaps they just thought that you were never going to be able to get out of your head, out of the carousel of your mind, going around and round and round, out of trying to feed the good dog and leave the bad dog neglected and emaciated to the point where you didn't recognize yourself. And we're back. Sorry, I had to show you what I was seeing because I talked about it at length. So I feel like it may have been important to you. But yeah, this beast out here, this beautiful creature is just busy eating the forest like it's a salad and happy as can be, nourishing itself, not bothered by me looking, much less bothered by you guys looking too, right? So we're excited about this. We love that you're bringing everything back to a togetherness, back into a alignment, a realignment, that you're clearing that muddled thinking. We love that you realize that if you focus on the middle of the traditional wheel of fortune, you wind up getting less motion sickness, less topsy-turvy about things, and that you have a higher perspective. And so that is how you're proving people wrong. That's how you're proving them wrong specifically. So that's what I have. Much, much love. Until next time, namaste.
Okay.
Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Untitled Tarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 3, how are you proving them wrong? Well, first of all, based on this image, I definitely feel like you are a little bit of a firecracker, a little bit of a shock, a little bit of a surprise. You could have been considered at one time the underdog or the one highly underestimated. But I feel like that is no longer the case. Go ahead and join me for your reading in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, welcome. If you're new here, I hope that you find something that is helpful or encouraging. And for those of you guys that are indeed my repeat offenders, I'm ever so grateful to have you. Thank you so very much. Pile number 3, how are you proving them wrong? You have rebirth, unconventionality, and nonconformity with a serpent. And the number 32. And you have prosperity. I know that's right. Wealth, contentment, and abundance. I feel pile number 3. I'm sorry, I'm all 2. I'm stuck on 2 because I keep watching this. I don't know. It's an elk. Is it a deer eating its salad in the forest? Yeah. Anyways, I think it's a boy. But I feel like contentment is really standing out to me out of all of this. And yes, prosperity in all the ways, right? But I definitely feel like you're proving them wrong because people thought that you would never amount to anything. I don't feel like people would say that to you, to your face. People thought that you would conform for the rest of your life. People thought that you would acquiesce, that you would give in, that you would defer to somebody else's opinion, somebody else's desires. And I feel like that could be nothing further from the truth. With the serpent, I definitely feel like you've undergone many, many changes. I feel like if people look away from you momentarily, you're never in the same place. Maybe not physically even, but especially like your body, mind, and heart. Like you are a whole different person. You could be someone like myself. Maybe you've dyed your hair 50 million times. I don't know. But I definitely feel like you are somebody who really attracts a lot of people. That You have a gravitas about you that people speak on. Also, people speak on your ability to change, your ability to transform, your ability to even have a rebirthing experience. Now, this sounds really weird. Hang in there tight because we're going there. Pile number 3, I feel like you're proving people wrong because maybe perhaps you are someone who has been able to reinvent self. And I feel like you did this really from the ground up. And it could have been that you had a rebirthing experience. If you don't know what that is, definitely look it up. It is incredibly powerful. I feel like this really set the standard, or this set the pace for you in order to move forward, in order for you to be able to shed and leave a lot of things that maybe perhaps were not the best. It's like I'm feeling definitely confined within my skin sort of a vibe, right? Just the way the snake feels probably before it starts shedding its skin. And so I feel like, yeah, you were maybe in a vessel that was like trapped in a place that was too small for them, and you had to expand. Maybe you had to relocate. Maybe you had to think outside the box. Maybe you had to really get down to basics and change and evolve and really embrace nonconformity and do things your own manner. Whatever this is, I feel like it's proven to be very prosperous for you. I definitely feel like you could wear a lot of rings, right? They're super fun. It doesn't mean, again, I mean, you guys, these are not all like expensive, obviously, right? But you could wear a lot of jewelry. You could have even a lot of crowns. Like I collect crowns. I love them. I don't know why, I just have. And so you could be somebody who is like that as well. But I definitely feel like wealth and contentment and abundance follow you. Like whatever it is that you do prospers. I feel like you have been raised like Lazarus in a lot of ways, raised from the dead, left by people who thought that maybe you had no juice and you left to be able to give. Now, I'm talking for a small demographic of you guys. I feel like maybe some of you guys are coming from a place in time, or you were in a place in time where you had a lot of narcissistic people that really drained the life out of you. And so you're coming out of that energy. That energy is leaving or has left, or you've escaped it, or you transmuted it, or all the above, right? And I definitely feel like currently people see that you have not only reinvented yourself, but that you've come out stronger and taller, and maybe even in some ways, yes, flashier, who knows, right? But you're proving them wrong because they thought that, oh, well, pile number 3, they're small potatoes. Pile number 3, we don't have to worry about them. Pile number 3, they have nothing to offer. They're really kind of a nobody. They fit in right with everybody else. And I'm moving on to shinier, bigger, better things, right? So you could have had people who decided not to pick you as a spouse or partner or whatever because they thought they could do better. And I feel like this is definitely applicable. Now, yellow roses, yellow flowers can mean something for you. Some of you guys can like gold. You can like the color gold, or you can simply like, maybe you have like a little treasure chest. I don't know. Some of you guys have a treasure chest in the bank, right? With the safety key, that whole thing. Keeping it pushing. 8 of Earth. What? How are you proving them wrong? Is that you are willing to whittle away at things, to work long hours into the night without maybe even a promise or a glimmer of hope. Maybe you don't even notice time passing. So this would be you working diligently at something, but it brings you joy and it brings you peace. And she's not surrounded by like bouginess. You could be, but it's almost like there is a plank right here, not unlike this actually, right? I think that's actually a charcuterie board, I think, but I could be wrong. Who knows? It's a thing. It is a table thing. But this right here almost makes me feel like walking the plank. So with the 8 of Earth right here, and I feel like you've taken risks and chances upon yourself. Like you have been willing to invest in yourself, work long into the night in order to really perfect something, hone a skill, hone a hobby that became something that is gaining you notoriety, I can't say that word, wealth, contentment, abundance, and all the things. And now, pile number 3, I definitely feel like, yeah, the number 17 reduces to an 8, right? So we have an 8 right there, hair. you could be really drawn to golds and then greens right now at this point in time in your life. Maybe you even saw the last reading that I posted because it was all about teals and blues and colors like that. So I feel like you're proving people wrong, maybe because you maybe even put color therapy into practice in your life some way, somehow. Maybe you order business cards and you're like, okay, well, this is my side gig and I'm going to work hard at it and diligently, and it's the best I can afford. And it, I don't have a lot, but I'm going to do with, and this is what I got going on. And you're going to be handing those out with whatever, color theory you have in mind that you're like, okay, well, blue instills a lot of trust. It's about communication. It's about whatever, or maybe green, you're going to help people grow, or, whatever your idea and your studies have taken you, whatever your spirit and your mind has taken you, I definitely feel like you've invested in that. Let's see what else we have. How are you proving them wrong? Pile number 3, grapes. Time to go out and have fun. What? Maybe you're working too hard? Okay. Pile number 3, maybe perhaps once upon a time, you used to be somebody who would love like the nightlife, or used to go out all the time, or you had, oh, those are my dogs, I'd run with them all the time. And now you are all about the grind. Maybe now, like when you go to work, you work, and when you come home, you work. Case in point, that would be me. Pile number 3, how are you proving them wrong? Is that you could go from one extreme to the other. Maybe perhaps, because I'm hearing someone that I used to know, right? Is it Goya? I don't know. I don't know that person's name, do forgive. But anyways, yeah. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Time to go out and have fun. Yeah, so it's very evident that you are working diligently, that it is progressing, that it is unfolding for you, that it is being well received, that it is gaining traction, whatever it is. And I'm looking now at the skeleton heads, the skulls right here, and this almost gives me a vibration of like ancestors. So maybe perhaps you are bringing your ancestors into the game. Like maybe you're somebody who likes to throw bones, maybe you like to throw runestones, cast shells, maybe you like to read tarot, oracle cards, smoke vessels, right? The candle case, whatever it's called. So you could read water, you could read fire. I've done all of those and I'm good at some, not all. But it could definitely be something that you are just really in tune with your own magic and whatever, like you're investing in yourself, and other people are really shook and you're proving them wrong because they thought, well, you're wasting your time. They thought, well, that is woo-woo. They thought nobody's going to receive that. They thought you're wasting your time. Stop messing around. It's like you have all these hours put into what? Why would you ever? I feel, pile number 3, between me and you, I feel like these people thought that you were going to fall flat on your face. Now, the caveat to that story, pile number 3, is that perhaps you have fallen on your face. I have many times. It's amazing I have a nose. JK, I digress. But really, if you look at the most successful people, what we don't know a lot of times is backstory to that is that they have made many different attempts. And in those attempts, they have gleaned and honed these skills, right? And they have learned, and they have had to reinvest in themselves in order to reinvent themselves, in order to have a belief in themselves, in order to come out ahead, in order to fine-tune their craft, in order to bring it into the world, birth it, rebirth it, be unconventional, bring something new to the table, and surprise a whole land, right? Pile number 3, I feel like you've had nobody whispering in your ear, you got this, you go, you continue pushing, I really believe in you, and meant it. I feel like you've had a lot of false chatter behind you saying, oh yeah, you can totally, and then they're like, oh my gosh, pile number 3. They're always up to this, and they're always, thinking they're going to do that, and it's, but I mean, it's okay, you run along, pile number 3, you got this, right? Wink, wink. So I feel like a lot of people have been dualistic within your life. It's like saying one thing with their mouth to your face, but then backbiting with the other. It's no different than having, hello, squirrels. I think it's actually pine cones hitting the side of the building, the house. But in my mind, I picture it as squirrels like being angry and like tossing it at the building just to get my attention. Mad squirrels. Yes. Anyways, I digress. Here we go. So I definitely feel like these people were, placating you is another word. Placating you to your face, and yet they would go behind your back and they're like, oh, pile number 3, they always have these big dreams and you can't, I just have to, make them okay and pat them and, pretend like I'm going along with the narrative, but it's not going to go anywhere. And I feel like you've proven them wrong, dead wrong. Way dead wrong. Even these grapes with it's time to go out and have fun, and you're like, oh hell no, look at these grapes. I can make me a vino. I can make me I almost said a vine. I meant like wine with an accent, but it is a vine. Wow. Okay. Very corny. Sorry. So you guys could be a little bit slapsticky. You could be a little bit in delirium. I feel like how you're proving people wrong is that your delirium is true. Your delirium is like magic. I feel like you can look at things and think, wow. I mean, when you see, let's say, a lot of brush, right? A lot of like bushes and things and like other people see this and they're like, oh, that's a fire hazard. And warranted. Okay, I get that. But also, I feel like you can come in and go, well, yeah, let's clear that debris. And then you're like, look at those pine cones. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. And then you're like, look at those rocks. I'm kind of like a squirrel, if you can't tell. So even in my work desk, I have these like rocks that I've collected, And so I'm like, oh my gosh, look at these rocks, but not like these, obviously, crystal rocks, but normal rocks that have a lot of like beautiful energy. And I'm like, that's cool. And I'll keep it at my desk and I will pet it for a while and then re-release it back into the world, because why not? It makes me happy. It brings me joy. And I feel like pile number 3, you could have a heart like that. Just one of purity, one of like almost like childlike indulgence. And I don't mean childish, not at all. I mean, a heart that is open, a mind that is open, a wonder, an ability to see the world. Like if you look at seashells and things like that and you marvel at them, you're like, wow, I cannot believe. And this is really, really cool. Look at that spiral and look at the colors and how does this animal live in here? And like you have a natural curiosity that you have retained throughout. And I feel like this level of enthusiasm, it's incredibly engaging. It's capturing a lot of attention, but also you could be monetizing it. Now this necklace right here reminds me of a creator on TikTok, and she actually buys a bunch of toys in a bag. I think I've talked to her about her before, and I need to actually figure out who she is and tag her, because in case you're curious, but she makes like these toys. She gives them new life, and all of a sudden they're like necklaces to be worn by people who would wear stuff like that. Well, people that work in kinder, people that work, I don't know, maybe in some places where there are a lot of children, or they simply like it, or they're edgy like that, or whomever. But I feel like you are somebody who is working late into the night on things that give you joy. And you're proving people wrong because it is beneficial. How? Yeah, it's brought you money. It's brought you abundance, prosperity, wealth, whatever. The most of all, it's brought you contentment. It's brought you peace. It's brought you innocence. It's brought you hope. It's helped you to be a light in a very, very dark world where people could easily get very, very depressed, feel like things are dismal, unfair, and sad. Not saying that you haven't struggled with those things, but I feel like you've retained that youthfulness in you regardless of age, and it is a source of inspiration for many. And this is part of the draw and part of why your hands achieve success easily. When I say easily, I don't even think it's been easy, by the way. That card tells me it's not been easy. You've been working hard. Moving on. How are you proving them wrong? Pile number 3, if you're indeed liking my chaotically divine reading, do me a favor, please, if you could like, share, comment, subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And for those of you guys that have already done so, thank you so very much. I'm so touched. I'm so grateful. Don't forget to click your little notification bell where you get notified that I drop further readings. So how are you proving them wrong? Generosity of air. You're smart like a fox. Okay, I'm hearing solid. Solid like a rock. Interesting. I don't even know who sings that. Old school song. But you're incredibly bright, incredibly smart. You know how to wield things, how to do things, how to work at things and like hammer them out in such a way that when they unfold, they will generate, great prosperity for you. But you keep in line with the joy. If you remove the joy from your task, from your work, whatever your hands are building right here, you know that it's not that it's going to go downhill. It's not that you will not be successful. It's not that it won't gain you the abundance, but take away the joy and you take away the charm. You take away the magic. You take away the peace. And really, you take away that light within you that keeps thriving, I want to say. And so I feel like you realize, once again, that it's important to be in alignment with self and not conform, right? Well, work is work. Hobbies are hobbies. And you're like, okay, we'll see. The number 1717 on camera right now. How are you proving them wrong? Emergence. Can't say it. Good luck with that. You could say it. That's fine. Okay. Like emerging out of things. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, look at these. There's no fairies or butterflies and things like that. I've never seen this card before. That's because it just emerged. Haha. Yeah. But, yeah, there's something very like childlike and look at them sitting on the mushrooms and they're in the forest and they're just like, you know, undergoing a lot of changes. So you've undergone a lot of changes, a lot of magical changes, and it shows your strength and your poise and your friendliness and your vitality and your ability to fly heights that people would never have thought. People love how you are popping out, okay, with these like new ideas when really they're not new. It's like, almost like you can go back and say, you know what, as a child, I used to think, well, why can't I? Every child, if you ask them, can you sing? They're like, yeah, I can sing. And they're like, who can sing? And everybody raises their hand. They're like, hell yeah, I could sing. But then we get told later in life, it's like, oh, who sings that? Well, let them, you know? And we get torn down by life. We get torn down by, quote, friends. We get torn down by family. I mean, it's just a never ending. So I feel like once again, you're emerging with new wings, with a new appearance, with a transformation, a lot of different transformations. Like your strength is being seen as different. Your strength is prosperity. You're being seen as prosperity itself. Pile number 3, how are you proving them wrong? An arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. Ooh, well, you know what though? For all of this happy, fairy, this unconventionality, this like guru energy almost, I feel like people that cross you know not to cross you, first of all. I feel like they might do it once and encounter this angry rooster. And I don't even think that boastful is like a thing in your vocabulary, or at least in your world. It could be. But I feel like they would just say, oh, well, that's kind of arrogant. But you would check them. You would put them in their place. If people come for you, they will find you, right? Because here you are busy doing all your things. Maybe you have like different facets of your personality. You're like, okay, I'm going to make some necklaces that are from like toys, or I'm going to make miniature robots. I'm fascinated with those, by the way, but I don't know how to make stuff like that. And maybe you're like, I like miniature houses too, or I like buying Barbie doll things and then painting them gothic, and then having like this like dark manor mansion going on theme that I work on. And, you know, whatever it is, you retain that. But if people go, oh, you're just like childish, or you're a joke or whatever, I feel like that would meet the wrath of pile number 3. Why? It's like, because you crossed over into the rooster's path, and they're going to find out the hard way, right? Roosters are nothing to mess with. I'll tell you that from experience. Cup, you should accept valid criticism. Pile number 3, I definitely feel like you're proving them wrong, because maybe even in this, right, it's just like unconventional, non-conforming and things like that. And people would think, oh, they're not open or receptive to like constructive criticism or whatever. Like, for example, this morning I woke up and I was kind of reading the comments very early, I might add, which was talking about like, don't give trigger warnings, because then I don't want to see the readings, or you should just, you know, and it was a lot of different opinions on don't give trigger warnings with your readings, because we're all adults here. And it's like, yeah, well, there are 2 different camps, and some people appreciate it, other people do not. And you're never going to be like in the green with everybody. And I feel like you know this, but I also feel like you take heed and you listen to constructive criticism. I made a lot of changes on my channel because of criticism. not in a way of like, oh, let me conform, but in a way of seeing things in a different way. Like, wow, maybe there's a valid point right there. Yeah, it's my channel, but can I listen to somebody who has something to say? Yeah. And can I maybe try things out in a different way and see if it kind of fits me? Yeah, I definitely can. And hence, that's how I got the music thing going, which some of you hate and some of you like, and I don't know. I love it though. And that's how I got the shuffling on camera. You know, I had somebody drop in the comments below, you need to shuffle on camera, period. Like real sassy and firm and kind of like, and I'm like, let me see what you got going on, girl. But that's okay. So I reeled my ego back and I looked at things and I'm like, can I shuffle on camera? And now I condense everything. And for those of you guys that want to watch it, great. And if you don't, great. You know, but I find that it suits me. And that was constructive criticism, you know, valid. And so I've been able to make some changes on that note. And I feel like you are proving them wrong because you're not like this arrogant, boastful rooster as they would have people think of you as. But I feel like people could definitely see you in an angry way if they come for you in a negative way, right? Like constructive criticism, valid criticism maybe, but criticism just to criticize when somebody has nothing going on is a whole different kind of insult, right? So that's what I have. Anyways, let me know your thoughts. Much, much love to you. Until next time, namaste.